So, if you're a manager, especially in the design world, you definitely know this feeling. You've got this brilliant new idea for a product, but let's be honest, the path from that first sketch to actual success can feel like a minefield. That's exactly what we're tackling today. We're going to break down two absolutely essential frameworks, new product development and the product lifecycle, to give you a clear, actionable guide for turning that idea into a real market leader. It all starts right here. Every single iconic piece of furniture, every design that completely defines a space, it begins as a simple idea. It could be a sketch of an armchair, just like this one, something born from a sudden flash of inspiration. But here's the thing, that spark of inspiration, that's kind of the easy part. The real question, the one every manager has to ask, is this: what is the actual strategic plan to get that beautiful design out of your sketchbook and into a customer's living room and, just as importantly, make sure it has a long, successful life? That's the big question we're here to answer. Okay, so before we can even start to build a blueprint for your product's success, we need to get crystal clear on what a product actually is. Because it's really a thing of two halves. You've got your goods and you've got your services. Fundamentally, a product is just anything that can be offered to a market to satisfy a want or a need. And that definition is deliberately broad, because as a manager, you've got to think beyond just a physical object if you really want to find your competitive edge. And this breaks down the two core types perfectly. On one side, you've got physical goods. So think of that beautiful, tangible armchair. You can touch it, ownership actually transfers to the buyer, and it's durable. But on the other side, you have intangible services. In the design world, a great example is an interior design consultation. It's an experience, right? It's not an object, and its value is created and consumed at the exact same time. Now, here's what's really fascinating, and what this slide shows so well. Most modern products are actually a mix of both. Take a restaurant. It provides a tangible good, the food. But what you're really paying for is the intangible service, the atmosphere, the whole dining experience. For a furniture company, you're not just selling a chair. You're often selling the design service, the delivery, the assembly. You're selling a complete package. All right, so now that we get the what, that mix of goods and services, let's build out the how. This is the development blueprint, your step-by-step plan for bringing a brand new product to life. This right here is the new product development process, or NPD for short. It's a structured roadmap that guides a product all the way from idea generation and screening, through concept development and business strategy, into the actual product development and test marketing, and finally, to the big launch, commercialization. Now, while every step here is critical, we're going to zero in on a few checkpoints where managers can really make the biggest impact. So, the first step is all about casting a super wide net for ideas. Your first managerial checklist item is this: have you really sourced ideas from every possible avenue? Yeah, look internally to your R&D and design teams, but do not forget to look externally. What are your customers actually saying? What are your competitors missing? You never know where the next great idea will come from. Next, you got to be a little ruthless. Checklist number 2, idea screening. You simply can't pursue every single idea. So the goal here is to filter them down to the real winners. You have to ask those tough questions. Is this idea even technically feasible for us to produce? And maybe more importantly, is there real, tangible market potential for it? Once you've got a promising concept, it's time to run the numbers. So checklist 3 is the business analysis. This is where you put on your financial hat. Have you seriously projected the manufacturing costs, the potential sales volume, and the overall profitability for this new armchair? Because a great idea is only truly great if it makes business sense. And finally, we get to the launch. Your last development checklist item is commercialization. At this point, your product is ready to go. But is your launch plan ready? This means finalizing all your marketing messages, your distribution channels, and your sales strategy for that full market rollout. So you did it. You successfully launched your product. But the work is not over. In fact, in a lot of ways, it's really just beginning. Let's take a look at what comes next: the product's entire life journey. This is the classic product lifecycle, or PLC. Think of it like a map that charts a product's sales and profits over time, and it moves through 4 very distinct stages. As a manager, understanding exactly where your product is on this curve is absolutely crucial for making the right strategic calls. Okay, stage 1 is introduction. Your new armchair has just hit the market. Sales are going to be low at first while you build awareness. Your main focus here isn't just selling, it's market education. And because of that, your marketing budget is often at its highest. You're trying to create a whole new category, not just sell one chair. Now, if you handle that introduction stage well, you get to enter the growth stage. This is the exciting part. Sales start to climb fast as the market really starts to embrace your product. The focus now shifts to expanding your market and maybe even adding new features. But a quick word of warning, this is also when your competitors will definitely notice your success and start to jump in. Next up is maturity. At this point, sales will peak and then they'll start to level off and stabilize. The market is probably saturated with competitors, so your strategy has to change yet again. Now, it's all about differentiating your armchair from the competition, maybe through better quality or branding, and really managing your costs to maximize profitability. And finally, every product eventually enters the decline stage. Sales start to fall. Maybe it's because of changing consumer tastes, or maybe a new technology came along. This is honestly the toughest phase for a manager. Your strategy has to shift to making some really difficult decisions. Do you try to revive the product? Do you just harvest it for whatever profit is left? Or do you plan a graceful exit? Okay, so we've looked at two really powerful models. Now let's tie it all together. Let's connect the full cycle from that initial development blueprint all the way to the product's life journey. And this image just says it all, doesn't it? The end of that new product development process, that commercialization stage we talked about, it's not an endpoint at all. It's the starting line for the product life cycle. It flows directly into the introduction stage, you see? They're really just two halves of the same story. So here it is, the most essential takeaway for you as a manager. These are not just some academic theories. They are your strategic toolkit. You use the development process as the blueprint to create your product, and then you use the life cycle as the map to manage that product effectively through its entire journey. You know, Benjamin Franklin said it best, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. By understanding and actually applying these frameworks, you're not just managing a product, you're making a strategic investment in its long-term success. So I'll leave you with this. Take a hard look at your current product lineup. Which stage are they really in, and are you using the right strategy for it?